And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I've always liked codes and ciphers. Something I did as a child. A geek is coming out, I suppose. It brings me to board games. But this game, the Code Crackers from Haba, is about that kind of, sort of. But it's certainly the most thought-provoking Haba game that I've played so far. And while the box says 6 and up, I'm going to increase that to maybe 8 and up, because there is a little bit more thought involved in this game. The board itself is assembled randomly. Let's look at it. On one space in the board, and you can't see it but over here, are where all the detectives go for the different players. These funny little pawns, little kid detectives, ready to go. And here is Bert the burglar over here, and he'll be moving around the board. On a player's turn, they simply roll the die. If they roll a number, 1, 2, or 3, which is on 3 sides of the die, they get to move that far. They're trying to catch Bert. If they roll a magnifying glass instead, Bert is going to move 1 or 2 spaces. It depends how many players are in the game. So he'll keep moving, and so players are going to have to eventually catch up to him, which is going to be difficult. But whenever he moves, a card is then turned over. So, for example, this card is turned over, and this card shows 5 symbols that players have to find on the board. A timer is turned over, and while the timer is running, players are looking for those 5 symbols on the board. Well, they're at least looking for 3 of them. As long as they find the first 3, they can grab this 3 safe. If they find the first 4, they grab this one. If they find all 5, they would grab the 5th safe. When the 5th safe is grabbed, the round is over, but if the 3rd or 4th safe are grabbed, players have till the time runs out to find the 5th one. Finding all 5 symbols is not an easy thing to do, although in this instance, it is here on the board. I have a diamond, dollar, coin bag, which is exactly what the card shows. When you do that, players will place a marker there. Everyone else checks to make sure it's okay. If someone gets the 3, 4, 5, and that will almost always happen, because the 3 is almost always possible. Whoever has the highest number of the safes that were taken then moves their pawn that many spaces. And that's basically it. Except if you want to play a variant, instead of using the picture side, you can turn them over and do the numbers side. Now the game says that's a harder variant. For me, the numbers was easier, but I suppose kids do a little bit better with pictures, but you could turn over all these tiles. The pieces for the game are very well done. Everything is a puzzle piece, as you saw, and it all fits together. And with the different hexagonal pieces, there's tons of variations of the board. And you have both the picture side and the number side. The pawns and the robber, they're cute. Kids will like them. They're not going to get any sense of real crime. Timers included. The chips are very small with a little clear center through them, so that you can see the symbol that they're placed on. They're really neat. Well, a little easy to lose, too. Also, you have the die, which of course shows the magnifying glass on 3 sides, and then a 1, 2, or 3, and then 2 decks of cards, a red deck for the number sides, and a blue deck for the blue side. For the picture side. It all works together very well, but younger kids, especially 6, 7, 5, they're going to have a harder time, maybe not finding the symbols, but understanding that 5 is the best to find, then 4, then 3, and they may not be able to scan the board as fast as older kids. Anytime that I've played the game, older kids have just wiped the floor with the younger kids. But when you put a group of the kids that are the same age together, then the game becomes a very challenging one. It's fun to chase that robber down, and there's a bit of luck in what numbers they roll on the die that might give you the edge to catch someone else. But looking all over the board at the same time to look for 3, 4, 5 in a row while this timer's running out is very fun, and it can be a challenging game for a parent to play against a child who they'll be fairly on the same level in that regard. So an excellent game by Haba, a little bit deeper than most of their games, but I think it's a good one.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.